the young of the sugar. That's on you, Jim Lindy, and then Che Chigmambo Songba, Simje, Dunga da Teata, and Digi to be actually the San Jim Nendiki, Che Bottom, Song Dinani Yadang, and San Jim Ne Che Song Bigi, that Dunda, Zoro, Dickers, and Simjet Hamjo, San Yoko, Koridunga, the Dredge, San Yoko, to be chosen. The name Zanta San Yoko, Toyala, and you buy the Carpango, San Antonio Moba, Seven Bachata Japa Pang, or a deep body, and don't get to be sheriff, Ngomiata, and then Jaju Sem Niche, Jaju Sem Compala Dene, and then Yamna Jabala Dene, and the San Yoko top two go wars. The name Za, and the Lutin Cabanamgi, the Nigi Niso, Hago and Cabata, Jaju Sem Banamgi, and then don't you to be sheriff, Jaju Sem, not don't you to be sheriff, and then Gombike D10 and Jimbo Sumsova, General Sobaniam Chigo, and the Danish. And the name Zadang to Tony Toyadi, that Jiggy, and Arzuine, and Jeremy Chicken Arzulina, Tarpata, San Yuko Tobala, Jansen Banam, Lam and Chepa, Najing Arzu, Chegores, so on, then Arzu can Chegores in it, that don't you to begin. Don't you to be loading out in Yamlen Chepa, Latam, some Lakanistan Kure, and then the rest is showing how to decourse usual.
Good afternoon. So this morning we looked at this morning it was said that the Buddha taught a vast array of teachings, and all of these teachings were motivated by his wish to guide sentient beings to develop within themselves a state freed of suffering, a state of lasting, stable happiness, to attain a state that is liberated from suffering, and then go even beyond that and attain full and complete enlightenment. And in order to bring this about, the Buddha taught the full and complete path that leads to the results of enlightenment. So he taught first of all, what is meant by suffering, and then he taught what the causes of suffering are. Thereafter, he taught that suffering can be abandoned, and he taught the method for abandoning suffering and its causes. And how does one go about destroying all the causes that lead to suffering? This is through developing the wisdom realizing emptiness. And in particular, if that mind then is conjoined with the mind of bodhicitta, then the exalted goal of enlightenment itself is possible. And then, as we saw in the verse this morning, the intelligent or the wise, they have come to know this, they've come to understand this with great clarity. So they are freed of doubts and only have conviction, and this has come about in dependence on both knowledge and experience, and therefore they're applying themselves to attain the state of enlightenment itself. So the advice from Lama Tsongkhapa in this verse was, for us to attain a state freed of suffering, we need to realize emptiness. And to do so, we should train just like all the bodhisattvas in the world, have them as our example to emulate. If we train like them, we will achieve that result. And then we spoke mostly this morning in how to train like them, to develop the wisdom directly realizing the emptiness of inherent existence.
대통령이 코베 동안에 규가래 중도세네 안에 녀모 발레테네 중고라세 규리야 삼다 데네게 규리야 나 세베 나 라신 주바 녀모 바티야 나 라신 주바 짐바텔레테네 기고레세 데네게 삼다제 데네 가서 나 라신 주바 짐바데 카네스투세 짐마나제 두에 미누스 제바제 동예 제바제 디고 네 대시쇼해 가서 디고 쉬르와.
As was mentioned this morning, in order to attain the exalted goal of enlightenment, one needs the wisdom realizing emptiness conjoined with the mind of bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment. And this morning then we looked in detail at the meditation that one needs to engage in order to develop this wisdom that realizes the emptiness of inherent existence. And we divided the meditation into the sequence of steps to be meditated on, starting with meditating on suffering, coming to gain great clarity on suffering, not on both a coarse, but in particular on subtler levels. And that was then followed by a second step of one having come to understand clearly what is meant by suffering. We look for the cause. And we see here in the second step that the cause is our various afflicted minds. And then on the third step, we take this a bit deeper to what is the root cause? What is the cause of those afflicted minds? And that is the ignorance of self-grasping. So in these first three steps, we're seeing this dependency that the result of suffering comes from a cause, which is the afflicted minds. And that cause itself is also a result coming from the cause of the ignorance of self-grasping. And then the fourth step of the meditation was to firstly see, so this ignorance of self-grasping grasps at a self. What kind of self is it grasping at? And here we came to see how the self appears. And then we went through the steps to investigate, to seek out that self, to see, does it exist in the way that it appears or not? And this process of analysis is what we spent most time looking at this morning. This morning's meditation was presented in a correct sequence, in a sequence that needs to be engaged in it. One needs to engage in that sequence. Now we come to the companion mind to wisdom, which is that of bodhicitta. So this too I'm going to present in a particular sequence, the sequence of stages of meditation that we need to engage in order to generate bodhicitta within our own continuums. The first step of the meditation is the same first step as we heard in this morning's meditation. The first step of the sequence in order to attain bodhicitta is to reflect on the faults of samsara, to reflect how cyclic existence is pervaded by suffering. In doing so, to give rise to the wish to be freed from the suffering nature, to be freed from samsara, to attain liberation. So the first step of this meditation is the same first step as we heard in this morning's presentation.
타고도 셈비기 코르기 견디데 가르 중국도 면서 주 레다 녀모발레 된 중국바 삼다 대주쇼가 삼다는 지발에 다니에 레다 녀모바디 안에 가르레 동스네 가 세방아 라시도 받진 베진바들의 기기도 지산 델 삼다제 되는 야제바치는 동방이기 다음에 벤 동방이 또 되네 또네 다 타버던도 예시 타비기야 토비하게 돈달을 베즈 진바 수준 수비 좀 냐면지 또 전에 아도아치네 네 타버 톱차지 타비고 방 톱차지 니 제라 다 잠바데 니지 냐면 제바 용거래 나 가시에 양지
동리기 콜라 곰차네 데니카남
타르바 톱차네
데니카남
진보 수좀 세고 전리 냠는 적으로
곰겹 그래
곰겹 전에 타르바 톱 탈비 고방 톱 탈비 고방 톱 처리 제라 데니 양 잠바다 잠니지 곰야게 고주야 지금 그래 지게로와 타르바 지라 다다 타르바 모토 보이나요 내시기 되니기 냠는 제 아니 야 람 냠는 제네 타바 모토브나 디파라델리아 타바 마토 파라델리아 인규 야 잠니지 냠는 제야지 용거래 당보 뇌중 장심 뇌중 되게 삼다 되네 야 제 코와델레 조고 선비기 타바 토에 돈돈이야 되네 람 냠는 제 되네 야 타바 마토 바제 단년 되게 초람으로 지나 톱제 되네 야마로 되네 유아 야 삼로도 유아 당진이야 아니 잠니지 곰제 아니 제 자주섬 곰 잠니지 곰이야 직 차고래 직 디게 되냐 제 좋아지냐 탈비 고방 마토 봐도 좋아 탈바 고방 톱차지 탈바 고방 톱차위 디 제라 아니 잠니지 곰제 자주섬 기야 지금 거래 다디 좋다 다 마선은 람갈 마선 다 탈비 고방들 야 좋아지 되네 초람디와래 되네 양직 로네 현된 제알이야 삼로도 누바차 다지 잠니지 냠는 제제 되네 자주섬 기야 준 거래 그 탈비 고방 마토 봐지 아 되네야 딜레 데드 디테스 자가리 some deus 가서버리 완전 마선에 deus 로를 체해줘서 제거 다 되니게 한테 오다 소소라 타고 마토 같이 산지 고바 토마토 샘진 탐지게 된다라 등이 있다 때깔에 잡투서 말에 녀랑아랑 타바 토구도 선비에 삼마치 다지네 되네야 지네 네야 초람 냠는 제데 되네 탈비 고방 톱살 되네 디 제라 잠니지 냠는 제가 지금 거래 다디 내림바 직제로와
So these two meditations have a similar starting point, or the same starting point, on reflecting on the sufferings of cyclic existence. But there is a divergent paths, or two differing paths, that the practitioner chooses to go on. And and why are there these two choices? Well, it depends on the type of person the meditator is. Because the realization of bodhicitta, or in order to realize bodhicitta, one needs a particularly courageous mind, a mind of great strength. And this is because of the tremendous responsibility that comes with the giving rise to the mind of bodhicitta. So the one choice is, the practitioners engage in, is they do the meditation sequence as we heard this morning, reflecting on the faults of cyclic existence, giving rise to a wish to be freed of even the subtler levels of suffering, investigating the causes of suffering, gaining great clarity that it's these afflicted minds that keep us bound in cyclic existence with their root cause, the ignorance of self-grasping, and then engage in the meditation on selflessness or emptiness, as we heard this morning. So that's one lineage of practitioner will follow that path with the understanding that once they have attained freedom from suffering, they will then meditate on love and compassion and bodhicitta. So they'll be wanting to enter into the paths, such as the paths of accumulation and preparation, and so forth, of the hero and solitary realizer type practitioner. So this meditator is of a type or of a lineage that sees their own need for freedom from suffering as primary. Thereafter, they will develop the mind of bodhicitta. But first, they want to attain liberation.
디가르스나 다데스 로 가소리 sembrachu dile de 상 semju che ligirwa jesugi 당보 타바토야기 돈다 고유둥하 삼다 디 둥의 규리 안에 녀몽바데 디 삼다나 지바쇼가 삼다 지바제 데네게 삼다제 안에 고유기 타바토야기 돈도 녀르제 안 돈이게 삼다 아니 니 제라 아까서 그래 진짜네 직진바 수준 수비 냠는 제도 딱 베네 태면기 소람으로 톱사기로와 다 소람으로 톱사네 니네 신에 오다 야 아니 잠니지게 삼도야 로얼 마선데 로체 이게 잠니지 삼다제 야 탈바 마토바제 탈비 람라야 마조와제 되네 자주 잠니지 곰제 곰바 용고레스 되는 수 탈바 톱 먹어제 대지데 다 탈바 톱는 마도 공을 단 디바라들량 탈바 마토바제 아니 야 교와다 잠니지 삼다제.
And then, before I say what Genla said now, I just missed out one bit in the sequence from this practitioner we were just speaking about. So they engage in the meditation sequence that was mentioned, culminating in the meditation on emptiness. Thereafter, they engage in the practices of ethical conduct and generosity and patience and so forth in order to accumulate the merit so as to drive forward their progression along these stages of meditation and achieve liberation. So that was the part I missed. And they do so with the intention that having attained liberation from suffering themselves, they will then develop love and compassion to the extent that bodhicitta arises. So that's that first lineage or type of practitioner. Now to what Genla's just said, the second lineage or type of practitioner, the way that they differ, perhaps you can say the way they differ as a person or personality, is that their mind is much more courageous. They have a mind of with far greater inner strength. So their meditation process is very similar. They reflect on the faults of cyclic existence, giving rise to the wish for liberation. They reflect then on the causes that are keeping them bound in the suffering states of samsara, seeing that it's afflicted minds, and that these afflicted minds have as their root cause the ignorance of self-grasping, and then they engage in the meditation on emptiness. And then accompanying these, they also, just like the other practitioner, will develop the minds of ethical conduct, generosity, patience, and so forth, in order to accumulate the merit, to strive them along their path. So that sequence is exactly the same. Here comes the difference. Their goal is not first and foremost their own individual liberation. Their goal is to attain the paths of a bodhisattva, to develop love and compassion and bodhicitta in their continuum, and continue to strive along the paths of a bodhisattva. So that's where the difference comes between the two. And in terms of maybe you can say them as people, how they differ, is the second type of practitioner has a mind of far greater courage, far greater strength.
kowe dunga. Chisa dine samda da kowe dunga dele da ta kudu sembege, da kowe dunga dele matana da tab minu sembe samda je, kowe dunga le tarbege tarbase to kudu samda komgura. Dene ge samda de dadi digi gara samda gorasne da rangi dunga dige samda de da pa semjala samda shandal samda da rangi dunga nashi 나랑 두번에 semjan 탐제로 코르 둥아 찍바 가나 뇽아 나시 semjan 탐제로 용고레스 지사 semjan 탐제 다랑 나신 둥아 마라 둥아 미두바네 콘조 둥아 미두바레 지사 나 대화 두바네 콘조 대화 미두바레 대화 두고레 온두스 전에 다스 파 semjan 샬레와 가보야디 다델리아 귤리아 제바제 타르바세 데네게 동유도바 데네 제바 마제바제 담보 코르 둥아 녀메 삼다 세상 코르 둥아 삼다에도 오다디 코르 둥아 날 중화나진 샹달 중고 샹달 대어도바다 나나 둥아 미도바 찍바레 온두스체네 삼다 수 두스 삼단 거래.
Where we see a difference in their progression through the sequence of meditation. And this difference that comes about due to their more courageous attitude, their strength of mind, is that when they're engaging in the same meditation on the sufferings of samsara and gaining great clarity of the subtleties of the sufferings of samsara, giving rise to a wish to be liberated from this suffering, then immediately at this point, whilst they've given rise to this wish to liberation based on their own experience of suffering, they turn their attention to others. They turn their attention to others with the recognition that this situation that the meditator is finding herself in is not unique to her, but is shared by all other ordinary beings. All beings long for happiness. All beings long for a state permanently freed from suffering. But yet, despite this wish, they find themselves bound in this prison of samsara. So we see here, before the meditator gets to the meditation on emptiness, already their attention is focused in a powerful way on the actual situation of others.
당님 찍버려스 당할야 심지 디 야가래 디 두가래스네 얘네 캬바차 균에메디 디 차상 찍부지기 아닌세베 당님 알야 판도바다 그린 임바 찍버려스 심지 딜이야 껴아래 딜 두가래 심베게 삼마타자 당님 공부해 드려서 공부를
In terms now of the unique steps of meditation that such a practitioner engages in, the very first step is to cultivate the mind of equanimity or the mind of impartiality. And this mind then of impartiality is where the meditator develops the understanding that there is no valid basis to differentiate or distinguish between beings in terms of which one has been kinder to me, which one which is a better kind of person or has been better towards me, which is a worse kind of person or worse towards me. There's no valid basis to discriminate between beings in this way, saying that, yes, this person or this group of people have shown me great kindness, but not that person or that group of people. So the first step of the meditation is this mind of impartiality, where one overcomes this discrimination between people, but rather develops a sense of closeness to all.
당님 공고바데 가르라나 나라줄야 셈랴 니링 슈슈어바다 어디니 니레사 델지 가자 어디니 지기 안에 지기 만조다 저샤요 말했어야 아니미 데네 안주기 나라줄야 소소라 파마다 소소 거부다 소수기 니다 분자네 소소 로제 나죠 로바제라 판도제 레라다 소소야 지금 오마싱바다 다롱보치네 제강아 유엔다 소소 로바제 투에네 제 로바마제 샤샤 용고로 봐 당하서 예링 시부시고로 봐 지선 예링 여바자 예링디 매바서 고르마 예링 매바서나 셈전 상마라 양은 저기 셈디 판도제에게 삼로디 두고 말해 그래서는 나한테 소소레 가사다 소수기 니다 소소리아 디솔리아 로제다 데네 현다들이야 안지 낭매샤데 차고로 봐 데네 모양이 된다라 차상을 찍었다고 그러다 전주심배 냠내 제발라 지난 찍었다고 와서 나보다 당념 공부해도 김새로 있대요.
We can certainly the way we see our lack of impartial attitude towards others is that we have a natural feeling of closeness towards some and distance towards others. And through this lack of impartiality, this closeness to some and distance from others, we see this acted out in that those that we feel a sense of closeness to, our partner, our children, our family, our good friends, we are readily there for them when they need assistance. We are readily there for them when they need protection. Others, the vast majority of beings who we are really just quite indifferent towards, we with great ease ignore their plight, ignore their suffering. We may give their plight a moment of our attention, but that's all. We see the very different reaction to when our loved ones are in need, we are readily there for them. But this is not the case for others. And this shows our lack of an impartial attitude.
차상라 거부에네 디나네 양야직을 가와로 제여로와 당은 부르지나 파마 바바미니에네 직래 직진야 제가 아말을 같이 와다 내가 잠름을 빠와라 같이 와다 이제 되는 hun고로 진짜 예능 뜻 hun고라 진짜 되는 인자 파마래네 부고 니숨 주에네 부고 직을 뜻 가나 체다 되는 게 예능 hun고로 진짜 되는 게 예능 hun고라 진짜 되는 인자가 예능이 당님 자야디야 자비급라 당보 간에 창고로서 수수기 인디게야 삼다 인디게 차상 직발에 인인바 직발에 디 야가래 인딩아 디 두와래 디 야가르스메 차상 직발 판도가 직발 인섬 당님공 엔된 마제 되는 아주기 이인기 미디게야 당뇨kom 되는 아주기 인기합직이 나와 되는 인기합 차상 되는 심전 차상이야 아니 직바 인생 당뇨kom이야디 두스체네 림발 마소나 당보 소수기 년을 삼다체네 엔델이야 당뇨 년디게라 당뇨kom 된 마진 개처처 다디된 담말에 심전 탐제 간듯이 이네 미나 둔로이나 녀완 차상야 안진ning 디야가데 디두가스메 차상 직바 인사데 당뇨kom 고래시래
And if we look at the group of people that we do feel a warmth towards, a closeness towards, even amongst this group, we can see our lack of impartiality in that there are some that we like more than others. And with children, you can often see this. Whilst they certainly will probably be close with both their parents, at times they may prefer one to the other. So even amongst the group that we are closest to, we still discriminate. So this is the first meditation to cultivate bodhicitta, is developing this mind of impartiality. And here we start in a specific sequence, because if we just try and become develop an attitude of equanimity towards all sentient beings, that is too difficult. We need to start with those that we already feel close to, and remove any form of impartiality within this group, coming to see that all those that we are currently close to, such as our family, are equally kind to us, or equally dear to us. And once we have gained some skill in this, we can then expand that circle slightly further to those in our community, and slowly over time expand it further to a larger group that we feel an affinity towards, or that we feel a belonging towards, perhaps our nation state, and eventually we can extend it to all human beings. We can and then at the final stage extend it to all sentient beings, humans, animals, and unseen beings. But we only get to developing an impartial attitude to all sentient beings through progressing through this sequence.
지상은 좀 날이야. 당님 직접 차야지 뭐 말에 소소 밤마다 소소 년디길래 소소 판두고 말에 아니 뭐 마신 바다 눈도다 다른 거 자서 나를 요네 심전디 간에 직접 차기래 직접 차에 그좀 오신 말에 아니 가시 알이야 뇌베지게 강아지 한디게 아니 네 밤마다지 알에 판두고 말에 아니 알에 뇌베지게 강아지 한디 강아지 거래 그래서 직접에 삼단에 넣어주러 와서 비게 용으로
When hearing about this need for impartiality, it's very usual for some doubt to arise, because if we look at our life's experience, there is a very clear difference between how some people relate to us, in that some really have been kind to us in this life, for example our parents, and others have caused us harm, and perhaps are causing us harm. And then what about strangers? These people that I don't even know, that I see on the street or elsewhere in the world, how can I feel a similar sense of closeness to them as I do perhaps to my children? And what about animals? Fish in the sea. How does one feel an equal sense of closeness to them? It can seem quite ridiculous.
아주 세디 파마들랑 아주 지게 로칭 아주 펜버도 거랑 아주 인체고로 되니까 난 아주 뭐 마신 바다 난 마신 비는 소설량 지금 마가와 지금 너비인디게야 지금 아주 삼다면나 뒤에서 되니기 미디게다 아주 뭐 마신 미디게 세대를 양아주 대화야 말은 것인 거 말에 이나 가시 아주 너비게 세대를 누구어디 이나 겨왕아 말에 양아주기 나줄이야 다들 아만 하신지는 아줄이야 판도지야다 아줄 거부시는 거부차대요 그래 제가 다른 아줄로 거부유티 아마디기 기우 아줄로 같이 아마디기 파마디기 겨왕아 마들이 직진은 아주 뭐 마신 말아지다 되니게 안지게 소설이야 마가와 지팅에 뒤용거래 제가 되니 현상 지기 제들레 판도고래 판도와래 지기 생각말 판도와래 제가 겨왕아마 판도바다 다들 판도바니 판도와이 비 지바래 같이 마도 지바래 해서라 제가 변당한서 롱아마들이야 미치기 말하자면 배 로봇 강아지들 로봇 배 야고지 나 로델이야 아니 제가 저기 직접 샘다른 부라 자되어이나 지금 물어와 야 롱아마디와 되어서 소설을 마가와 휴지해니나 하도 로델이야 소설 전부 차지 소설이야 로봇 지팅에 차와네 딩이디 지바라고 와서 그렇다 지디 롱아마들 로봇 제와 지디 달로 로봇 제와래 제가 딩이가 로봇 제와면 지바 차기도 같이마도 지바래 디나신 한 저기 간에 섬다와네 심전 간에시네 기왕아망아말량한줄 판도 제대요래 제가 세디 판도 제겐데 기왕아마디가 판도 제겐데 지비지기 아래 판도 제바 지바래 같이마도 판도 제바 지바래 제가 디니자 만줄이야 니링스가요 말해서 어두 섬다야 되지.
So how does one go about developing an attitude of equanimity towards all beings? So we start out with recalling the kindness that we have been shown in this life. And we can relate to our parents, to our loved ones in our family right now, to our friends, those that are helping us right now, those who have shown us kindness and support and care in previous years. And we recall the kindness that these people have shown us. We feel a sense of appreciation and gratitude for what they have done for us. And when we have this feeling of appreciation and gratitude for the kindness that others have shown us, then we can ask ourselves the question, considering that this is not anyone's first life, surely others have shown me similar kindness in past lives. Just like I've had, for example, in this life, parents who've shown me kindness, so too in previous lives. Just like I've had friends who've helped me and supported me in difficult times, so too in previous lives. Just like I've had strangers help me in difficult times in this life, so too have strangers in a previous life helped me. So therefore, what we can point to is that yes, in this life I can recall this person, that person, they have helped me. But I would have been helped in similar ways, been shown kindness in similar ways by others in previous lives. And those others in previous lives, I have no idea who they were. I have no way of recalling that. They may well be strangers around me. In fact, the strangers to me in this life, I would have had to have known in previous lives due to this continuity of rebirths. So those who are strangers to me in this life, past lives, our relationship would have been very different. And they would have shown me a kindness similar to what others are showing me in this life. And this process is the same with enemies. With those who've caused us harm in this life, those we aren't getting on with in this life. That may be our relationship right now, but that is all it is, our relationship right now. It hasn't always been like that in this life, and it certainly wasn't in past lives. So here we're coming to see that the only difference is a difference not of the relationship that we have between groups of people, or this person and that person, but it's just a passage of time. Some have shown me tremendous kindness and support in the past week, some a few years ago, some when I was young, and the others would have at varying points in previous lifetimes. The only difference is the passage of time, and it's only due to the passage of time and the taking of rebirth that our memory of that is lost. And we can take actual illustrations from your own lives to make this clear. So when you're younger, perhaps at school age, you would have had perhaps a teacher or others who were a mentor to you, an inspiration to you, and served fulfilled a very beneficial role in your life when you were younger. And now for many years you haven't seen them. And you have other people in your life now who care for you and support you and help you. And you'd point to the one who's caring for you and supporting you now, and that is their role. But so too was this other person 20 or 30 years ago. But you can't say, oh, the one who's helping me now is so much kinder than the one who was helping me before, because that was before and therefore doesn't matter. The passage of time is irrelevant. You point to both, and it's clear they've shown you kindness. Mm-hmm. And then you relate this to our previous lives. And we see this, all that changes is a passage of time.
Dene samdaji nga zo yumzendu samdaji dene samjen kandishina chasa ta sosolya niringa ngati nga telya yaga indi dugan samgoyame chasa jigbai samje tanyum do sin jigbai samje komya tanyum komya di dene ge samdo sin gomgo wore azo dene 야네 야도 삼땅고 데 야네 야도 삼다 김세 삼다도 김세 삼데 김세 삼땅에 땅에 지내야 샘전 차사당 디가를 야도 스카이민도 차사 찍바이 사땅님이 찍부지야이 차사 찍바이 삼두선 삼노디 야네 야도 꿈면 가슴 찍을야 샘전 차사래 오다딩 찍바리스타 차사 소설야 찍게 판도와단 그린 챔버제 임바데 찍바로 시에서 베게서 땅님디 삼노디 슈크리 셰르 땅으로 리기로와 제가 데네기 찍바이 샘베 삼노디 삼 야네 삼다 데려야고 야 김센지 인비야 직바인베 아직 직바인베 삼로디 다달리기면에 야 김세라 삼다 냐마디 판도고 데바체마 판도고서 두신 판도가 임세 삼다지네 직바리였습니다. 야심제 담제 간데시나다 직부지가 인알이야 직부지가 니링 균여요 말에 삼제되네 삼다고 메들도.
So in this meditation on partiality, we're striving to abandon this feeling of closeness to some and distance from others. Through this process of seeing that there really is no valid basis for saying, this is a person who shows me tremendous kindness, and that is a person who never has. There is no valid basis for this. And the way we come to this understanding is through analytical meditation, through meditation based on reasons, such as just has been given, and also thinking that, for example, the help that someone is giving me or has given me is a great kindness. That type of help is not unique to them. Many people help each other in this way, and the situation in which I needed help wasn't unique. There are such situations many people experience, and both of those are true in this and previous lives, and therefore I would have been helped by others in a similar way. I would have been in a similar situation in previous lives and would have needed such help and would have received it. And we use these reasons and many others to keep overcoming this mind of distance to some and closeness with others. And when we're struggling to develop this mind of impartiality, we need to investigate further. It's on the basis of ever more reasoning that we gain more certainty of this close relationship that we actually have with each and every being. Until we start to feel a sense of affinity, of closeness with all, as if we all are close relatives together.
Na dene niba dene jela kara samtang orlana simjen ganesh ne sosoge pama jenyo adi samtang kore jisan da nga zulya jewa lya pe mangu shu nyama shu lang len saro jewa da jewa nga ji ke melen ba na ko me seo mare jisan jewa nga ji ke len ba ji ko da jisan dewan za nga zu jewa nga ma ne da 마 데네 끼네 되어져 말린 바세 메레 제가 데네서 샘제 가나시나 다다 세딜이랑에 파마체바나지 샘제 디수기 깨왕 아마디와 풍랑 파마체요 녀마디와 체요 근데 진짜 샘제 가나시네 니 파마제 마녀 오레스네 지메 바레스 제가 데네서 샘제 차상이 파마제 녀와 짱자레스 근데 네 샘제 랑기 파마제 녀와디 데네게 삼당 공고래제래
we've developed a sense of closeness to all, then we take this a little further to the next step, where we remind ourselves that in this life, of course, we have parents. That's not unique to me, and it's not unique to this life. In each and every preceding life, since beginningless time, I would have had parents. I would have had a father and a mother who cared for me. And no matter what life form I was born into, I would have had parents who cared for me. So whilst I can point to my parents in this life, in my previous life and each life previous to that I had parents, it's just this passage of time disturbed by the rebirth process that prevents me from identifying them. But in reality, this relationship of parent and child, I share with each and every being without exception.
Atisha laya ga tu simchen tham jerang ge phama che nyo de du sene ya ne ya do samta. Dine da dine ge tang ye je la kha tang so dine din chen bo yin ba de. Tang zo che de gi so so ge phama de gi nga zo le be din chen ba. Me samta de nga zo sim da ni ha go she ro. Je sa dine ge phama se de be ma se din chen bo shu re. Ka sene phama ge nga subu na la ba ani phami ge ro na ya. Ani da o ka so re bene 다우쿠스냐 디냐위 링리아 판매 어당에 도나 부여서야 배 삽섭시우제 칼라다 재미하다 안 파조 줘야다 배 삽섭시우제네 파제와제네 냐고레스 되는 아주 판매기 도건마 된 사회네 된사 판매 배 전부제 제와제 아주야 차롱제 안직 전부시우제 제와제 냐고레스 되는 아주야 오스야 고로 차데 되는 판매기 다 전부 차도 소소리야 부울이야 등 롭종 제제야다 마음반의 부울이 야고차 배디기 거지 변조라 토네 나다 가린다 야고 영향이 된다리야 판매기 배마생한 줄이야 조선 따야다 강 시우제는 줄이야 두신 지고래 제가 파마 세디기 파마디기 만줄이야 배마스 되니기 파마제 되는 약게진 시우레샤 선배 판매기 세디기 판매 깨진제 제어도 다 세디기 판매 깨진 점 봐서 대개왕아망의 파마제는 차상에 찍고 찍지 않지요랬다 디나신 지고래서 세상 깨진 전부 쉬우체버려서 자 모두스는 밤에 깨진제 깨진돼야 돼. 배디나신 아주게 답변에 제가 친구 냐마도 아주 샘진으로 지켜와lên 배이네. 디 파마디요래 샘진 자지 끼와lên 파마디요. 근데 파마디기 당보 공화도 공화도 지 공화 따야 돈달라 자창도 깔려 쉬우자서 되네 창로와 되네 저저 공화도 공화도 다고 쉬우게 배는 이디 철라 조야선 다고 쉬우니 되네 공화도 부기야 돼 되네 부들이 파现在 칼라제 첨보제 부의 부전 코랑 칼라 체네 사 자에게 따다 맞이 봐도 파미기 자 자인의 파마디기 두선 대경치고 제가 파마디 배 메시게진 첨보 제가 되네 인자 파마세야 돼 샘전 차상을 한게 파마제 용화 짱자래 인자다 샘전 차상이 나라야 체디기 파마게 나라게 깨진 짱마다시 깨진 첨보제와 짱자래 제가 샘전 탐제 당할야 깨진 첨보 시우래샤 샘비기 샘쟁이야 깨진 제들이.
The first step of this unique part of the meditation was impartiality. The second step we've just looked at was to remind ourselves of this intimate relationship we have with each and every sentient being. So the first step was to bring a sense of closeness and affinity with all beings. And the second step takes us even further, realizing that we have the relationship of parent and child with each and every sentient being. Now the third step is to recall the kindness that others show us. And we start here by recalling the kindness of those who cared for us and raised us in this life, which usually would be one's parents. And all of us, of course, we were born from our mother, and our mothers, from the moment they were aware of our conception, they cared for us. We had no means of protecting ourselves when we were in our mother's womb, but she would have taken great care in her physical activities, in what she ate and drank, her movements and so forth, always aware of this precious life inside of her. And then from the moment we were born from her, and she heard us cry, then joy would have arisen within her at our mere existence. And then when we continued to be completely vulnerable, when we had no means to protect ourselves, we were totally reliant on our parents' kindness to care for us and ensure no harm came to us. And as we grew up and we aged and we had a little bit more ability, then our parents continued to care for us. And the way they cared for us would have always been in accordance with their capacity. But in accordance with their capacity, they tried to bring the very best for us that they could. And this is the case in this life, and we can all look back at our experiences and see this. And it was the same in each and every previous life. In all our previous lives, we had parents caring for us, whether we were humans or not. In previous lives, when we would have been an animal such as a bird, our parents, before we were born, would have, with great difficulty, they would have made their nest somewhere that they would have hoped to be safe, that they could care for their eggs, and then they would have guarded the eggs. And we see at this time of the year the birds trying to protect their nests from people walking along. So in the same way, in our previous lives, we would have been cared for just like that. And this is a relationship, as we've just seen in the previous step, this relationship of being cared for by others, we have with all beings. There's no being that one can point to with any vague certainty and say, we do not have this relationship. Each and every life we had parents, and those parents cared for us in accordance with their abilities, in particular when we were at our most vulnerable. So this then is the third step of the meditation, the recollection and the kindness that others show us.
진짜뭐 삼다이래 되네 근데 마세요 가는 저기 지게 파마 멤버 이나야 세딜 삼다베네 아 저기 지 파마 맨에 시행이 전에 아 저기 그때 장샤바슈 지 그때 친구이 말씀다이래 배내가 저기 롭종롭 차베네 자해의 차상 시행실에 되네 시행이 랍지에 가서 신고래 시행을 되네 라고래 제가 되네 자 당하고 레가로 체베네 오당하고 저 섬나다 시라기 지 오당하라 레글리고래 말야라치라고래디 나랑기 깔래져 토와래 섬고로 이네 10초로 섬다나 레갈레한테 가서 레갈레사직 미지 건축 마셔봐 있나 아니가 저기 레갈레야요 마 진짜 레갈레서 써봐 될라 되네 난 저기 레갈레야라고 봐 안직디 판도를 채고래 근데 맞아 가지고 사야도야 뭐 직달 아 저기 가지고 뭐 마시면 저메가 뭐 저기 레갈레 뭐 접제 될 때네 가서 칼라사게 사야다 칼라뉴야라고 그래 진짜 디니 인상 건줄이야 시행기도 삼다면 세델이네 소수기 파마 멤버이네 소수기 저 마신 바이네 소술이야 안지게 튕겨야다 소수기 되기 두야래 시한을 쉬우서 되고요 봐 되고요 제가 되어봐서 콘서팅 한줄이야 판도야 우도 선배게 제가 되네 인상 깨진 침벌이 선배게 삼다 당시고 그래.
And the second part of this third point of the meditation is when we have generated a sense of appreciation that our parents have shown us, or those who raised us have shown us, as well as reflecting that this has been the case throughout our lives. We then take our attention and we make it somewhat broader when we reflect on the others who have shown us great kindness in this life. And there are many stages in our life, really continuously, people have directly aided us, have assisted us in various ways. The easiest to recall are the varying teachers who have guided us and helped us develop all the skills we have. Because all the qualities that we can point to within ourselves have come about in dependence on the kindness of others. And this is important to be clear on. Because no matter how successful an entrepreneur one may be, if one thinks that one has achieved this great success due to my innate qualities, this is a mistake. All of our good qualities have been achieved in dependence on the kindness of others. We only need to think a little bit and we can start to see that this is true. And when we investigate more deeply, we'll see that we are surrounded by beings who assist us, who aid us indirectly. All the material possessions we have, the food we eat and enjoy, this all comes about in dependence on others. We are not self-sufficient, independent people. We are completely dependent on others. And in this way, others both directly and indirectly continuously show us kindness.
Bendigo samda jang zu simje tamje shanli rang la jin chimbo ge den chimbo shure sen de Bendigo samda de yang samda da ge den chimbo yin be ya gyumchen ro samda dene ya gyumchen mangbo samda je dene ya simje namje rang la jin chimbo ge den chimbo shure sha san be di ya do gom ya re da Bendigo gom yo de nga zu samlo di ya nyuba cher ru go ra nyuba cher tang go ra.
Again with this point, the way that one gives rise to this a conviction of this relationship with others and the kindness that they show us is through doing this meditation repeatedly over a sustained period. And this meditation, again, like the others, needs to be based on reasons. When one is struggling to give rise to an emotional response to an experience of the kindness of others, one needs to employ further reasoning, because it's based on reasoning that one comes to gain conviction, one comes to see the validity that beings show us kindness directly, indirectly, throughout our lives.
Da simchen shanda kanga da dinigi ngazo deji ngazo dunga yoba na konsul simchen tamje dunga duwa chesa dini san shanya sosul ya dinchimbo shewa san ngi simchen tamje le pemba chi dugi san begida ngal ya sul dinigi dinchimbo san ta ngi pa ya roba chi ma shin digi mar shen pa ngi simchen gi ya din digi pa dinlen je je shan le simchen le pemba chi dugi san be sam da de da.
So in dependence on engaging in this meditation successfully, one can move to the fourth step. Because now when we have seen in that third step just how all beings are kind to us, we already have a sense of closeness to others and an awareness of the intimate relationship we have with others, and now it's apparent just how kind beings are to us directly and indirectly, we then naturally think, these are beings who have shown me so much kindness, but they are in the same position as me. They desire happiness, but they are suffering. They desire to be free of problems and difficulties, but they have no idea how to achieve such a state and just keep accumulating further causes for suffering. Here then, a strong feeling arises to repay the kindness of others. Those who have shown us so much kindness directly and indirectly throughout this and previous lives. Here the natural wish arises to help these suffering beings, to help them attain freedom from suffering.
Da simchen namjele ngi pemba dugi samro da samdai da simchen la pemba dugo de kar dugo rosne simchen la kar dugo rosne simchen la diyu ko re chesa diyu dugo re chesa simchen tamje diyu dugo da simchen tamje dewa da de na sambege jamba ko me sen chesa simchen la pemba dugo do chesa simchen pemba dugo da simchen tamje dungo nyo kanga shu do chesa simchen la diyu dugo 지단 디기 semje tamje digi de temba dena sembe digi temba sho semdi gomiache digi temba sho gomiache jisanda digi temba la ya digi gyuda digi du gyuda genla de yongurma da gyuda genla ma temba digi yo ma jisa deni inza semje tamje le digi yongu du jisa semje tamje digi yo le digi yo ye gyu ani ngajugi gewa tubiadi 양이 semjele pembo trupje gewa tubiale bezuji inside da ni toshiche semjele gewa tubiale kulma je jirwada kulma wa laptene de gewa tin tukore sade ya bezuji toshiche konsolya gewa trupjugi ins 제상 gewa trupne digi de temperature sembe dinigi samdaide dele jamba kompasi ora semjele digi de temperature.
Here we come now to the fifth step of this meditation. So we've now given rise to the wish to repay the kindness of others. So then, in dependence on that, naturally the thought will be, how can I repay their kindness? What is it that sentient beings desire most from me? And it's not anything material. What all beings want, just like ourselves, is happiness, is freedom from pain and suffering. So recognizing that sentient beings desire happiness, here we generate the wish. May this be all sentient beings ever experience. May they give rise to a state of lasting, stable peace. And this is the mind of love, the wish. May all beings experience only happiness. Knowing that happiness is only achieved in dependence on causes and conditions, not in dependence on just a mere aspiration. Knowing that the causes have to be accumulated in order to achieve happiness, the thought then develops further. May all sentient beings experience only happiness. May they attain the causes for happiness. And then thirdly, following from this, one takes it as one's responsibility to strive to accumulate the causes for happiness on behalf of all sentient beings. So here, one, in order to repay the kindness of others, one generates the wish, may they experience only happiness. May they cultivate the causes for happiness. I myself will strive to accumulate the causes of happiness on their behalf.
제주도 냠네 고미야디 네 가서 니지 공부하시 그래. 제가 샘제 탐제 디기 고고도 제가 샘제 탐제 디기 영화를 동화다 맞잖아다 디기 영화입니다. 샘제 탐제를 동화 빠도면 봐 대신 가서 당보 섬다한테 소소 동화 영화 섬다와 나신 되니게 샘제 탐제를 동화 빠도면 봐도 제가 동화 되네 류기 내세 동화 샘제 강아 동화 아니 지 동화되게 대시 당보 섬다와 나시 섬다제 다 샘제들이 동화다 자고도 동화다 맞잖아 타면도 샘제들이 동화다 자나 삼백이 다디 삼노타이디 공부하들이야 디 삼노도 야네야도 다 공부하들 니지 공부하시 그래.
Then we move to the sixth step here of this unique part of the meditation. And that is with the recognition that for beings to experience lasting happiness, they have to be free of suffering, because if their happiness is punctuated by even a moment of suffering, they aren't abiding in lasting, stable peace. So here we give rise to the wish, may all sentient beings be freed from suffering. And this wish is the mind of compassion. And here we reflect back to the very first step of this meditation, where we reflected on the sufferings of samsara. And we recall here that these sufferings that we meditated on earlier and were only objects of our meditation, these are the objects of experience of beings now throughout cyclic existence. They are suffering in these very ways, from illness, from pain, from their afflicted minds. In so many ways, beings are suffering right now. And here we give rise to the strong overbearing wish, may all beings be freed from all forms of suffering, both coarse as well as subtle.
나 섬제 남제 동화다 잖아 섬베 섬다도 제산다 누신의 섬다도 다 대신한 저기 동반이 섬다도 동화다 잖아 섬다 대 동화 규를 가르려서 제와셔서 어다 대견 섬들이 동화도 디셔야 섬제도 동화다 잖아 섬베 섬다도 다 지산 동화도 영화도 섬제도 동화요도 규가를 때는 용도선 다시 될이야 대신한 동반이 삼다 동화 유가를 제바나지 대견 삼밀에도 섬제 동화다 하나 섬닝주고 되네 섬제 섬제 동화야디다 유가를 때는 용구도 시디 다 녀모발 때리도 제사다 녀모바 대기 영화디 가를 때는 용구로서는 아니 계셔 줘야 되네 두발에 때는 짐버 추려서 봐 대수냠는 때문에 때는 계셔 리기도 제사 섬제 섬제 동화의 규디 레다 녀모발 때는 리기도 제사다 레다 녀모바디 자유규 가능시 리기도 세도 다진 나서 나라신 주바지메 짐바들 리기도 되네 제바체네 되네 나라신 주바디 만zul라 대시 쇼게 제바체바 나신 나솔라 나와 나신가 라시 주바 짐바 나시 두에 미도 제바체야도 되네 니가서 되네 제바체도 나라신 주바 메바 최 탐제 나세디 규단 견실을 되는 주바마다 강라 되바 랑은도 주비 동바시에 샤스 동이기 나 담이 다와디 니가서다 제바체체 돈이 따와디 또 도야기 견섬데 뒤서데 산섬도 마서 제바지 거래.
Then, at the same point of meditation, we remind ourselves of where we started earlier, which was having reflected on suffering, we reflected at the beginning of our meditation on the causes of suffering. Here we remind ourselves that all suffering that beings are experiencing has come about in dependence on causes, and those causes are the afflicted minds. And those afflicted minds too have come about in dependence on causes, in particular the cause of the ignorance of self-grasping. And that is what needs to be eliminated. And here we now engage in the meditation on emptiness as we've had described before. We engage in the meditation on how does the self appear, and then we investigate seeking that self, coming to realize emptiness as has been explained before. And so this meditation that we are engaging in here on emptiness, we are doing on behalf of all sentient beings. We are doing on behalf of all sentient beings in the sense of, in order for sentient beings to be freed of suffering, they have to meditate on and realize the emptiness of inherent existence, and I will do that for them. I will do that on their behalf. And this is similar to the previous step where we meditated on love. We gave rise to the aspiration, may all sentient beings be freed from suffering, experience lasting happiness. May they have the causes for happiness, and I will accumulate those causes for them. And that leads us to engaging in the mental trainings, developing the meditations of ethics and joyous and generosity and patience and joyous perseverance, which are the causes of happiness. So we, on behalf of others, will accumulate the causes of happiness for others. And here we are now eliminating the causes of suffering on behalf of others. So this then is the boundary, the dividing point between this unique meditation and what we heard earlier for those who choose to rather attain their liberation, their own liberation first.
Deni enza da kowe dunga chasa nyomo bale tine chungyo bade hako den nyomo be tsewi yu daze marik bade dusene zimba na duwe mine cheba chiju donyi dawe namsha da hako gorwa hako yadu deni daze marik bade lo lokshe ba hako de bang tukuyo bade hako gore chasa deni enza da di meba soy tuyege nyembo di gombala deni di meba soy tukudu sembege dengso chi li gorwa le yadu deni oda simchen tam che dunga da dawa de nge chigis chesa deni ge lamdi nge simchen pa ten kontrolya lopchon jeju komchu che nge lamde jeje chesa simchen tam che dunga da dawa de nge chigis simchen tam che dunga digi de tempa dunga da jatu ba na digi dengoro chesa simchen digi de tempa da nge chigis simchen dunga da dawa da nge chigis sebe an delya nge chigis sebe da 소수기 견례로 지마서나 직 리고 당에 지긴 세배다 니지 고 제투구여 바데 제투여 비고 니 하구고 바데네자 고 당에 지긴 세배 지고 될라 학삼 남다 소르디지 샘제데 동아다 잔아 세배 삼로마도 디가블이야 다 동아다 네 지긴 세배 삼로요 말와 샘제데 디기데 데나 세배 삼로도 요마도 디기 데바데 네 지긴 세배 삼로 메르와 지서 샘제데 제 대화데 데나삼 동아다 잔아삼 데니기 동아 자기 제바제제 데네 동바니 또도 샘제데 동아다 자투요 바데 디기 된 투부요 바데 탑시디 하고요도 데네 오다 탑시디도 데니 탑시디제네 심전함지 동아다 자제 야 산예 살라 꾸기 심전함지 대화다 덴바 지긴 네 지긴 세베 삼로베 다 로도스 마선 인도 휴침부 휴지기 거래 세상 디가서다 라삼남다세 거래.
So here the meditator is moving into the seventh step of the meditation. So they now, through having meditated on ignorance and meditated on emptiness, coming to see that the self does not exist in the way that it appears. It's empty of existing in the way that it appears. They've come to an understanding or a realization of emptiness. They've developed a wisdom realizing emptiness. And with this, they know with certainty that the mind of the mind that grasps at the self as existing in the way that it appears is a mind of ignorance. It is a wrong consciousness. And it therefore, being a wrong consciousness, it can be abandoned. And it can be abandoned through the continued cultivation of the mind that has just been meditated on, just been cultivated, this wisdom realizing emptiness. This understanding, this conviction, leads to a great strength of mind arising, because the yogi now knows with certainty that the cause of suffering can be abandoned, and therefore freedom from suffering can be attained. And this leads to an incredible strength of mind, a confidence, knowing, I can do this. I can do this. And here, bearing in mind that this understanding that I can do this has been conjoined with these previous minds of love and compassion, where one has committed to train in order to benefit others, to cultivate the causes of happiness for others, to eliminate the causes of suffering for others. Now we know, I can do this. I can do this. And this leads to a great strength of mind that I can do this, meaning I can lead others to these same realizations and beyond. I can guide others so that they can give rise to minds of love and compassion and wisdom. I can do this. And this strength of mind is the altruistic attitude of universal responsibility, the mind of special intention, where one takes it as one's own personal responsibility, the welfare of others. That others are still suffering, that is my responsibility to resolve. And I can do that. That others desire to be led to a state of lasting happiness, this is possible, and it's possible for me to do that. So this incredibly courageous and powerful mind has come about in dependence on reasoning, analytical meditation, being done repeatedly over a sustained period, leading to this transformative experience. And this is the mind of the altruistic attitude of universal responsibility. And one here has a great clarity of mind that the path is attainable for oneself, and therefore we do have the ability to lead others to enlightenment. And this courageous mind is the mind of universal responsibility.
and sosolia jejidang chunala madimyagi tungeng ayameba chunan chomjabana sosolia dimyagi nyanga yorwa ta dinala nyele miji so kyowe dondala kyowe sosolia chunala madimyagi dulo karakomena jeriche chasan jeriche kyowaina ko midi ane chunala kyowe lela boche ane sosoa kanga mateba ane korona lela kyoptoya chagorwa obe dinajeda semja tamje duhada jawada digidwe meji 나가도 다 소소랑라 데니 digidwe 다 강아 지게 코드 동아세야 소소라 강아 마체바 콘솔이야 digid인 간이 두비네 동아 간에 세베게 탑람 된바나 탑람 된 신고고로 된 신바시고고래 그래서 탑람 된 마신와제 마신다 네 digidw인 남네 digidw 투야요 말아 매반자다 소소이 된 신고고래 소소게 강아 마체바시고고래 데니 연자다 메심제 탐제 디기 두야다 동아 탐지 녜세와 지기 대인장의 사제 고반의 마소는 탑 민두 삼제 대 사제 고반 톱나 되네 최가래 탑시가래 지나 배주 제투 게 베네셈지게 돼 야침쇼 제투 그래 소소랴 강아 균에 태요 말에 가래 최 땜반에 땡투 그래 뒤수께디 내가 가네 땜반에 차사 야가 가래 하고 두 그래 그래서 사제 고반 톱마던데 탑 민두 대인장의 semjian tamje dunga la chaje sanje salya koyege dandalya sanje goban batumne jimido denzang semjian tamje ge sanje goban toba jigi samje samlodi komyadi semjian tamje sanje goban toba jigi sembe samlodi janchu semsi gore ndi nganzugi di gomje yane yando gomje komyade de gomje nganzugi nyubachimo sohwade chagore.
Then independent on this altruistic attitude of universal responsibility, one now naturally goes to the next step, the mind generating the mind of bodhicitta. And this comes about spontaneously or naturally, in that we can maybe explain this through an analogy. If someone is drowning in a river, you see them, you want to help them, but if you lack the skill, what to do? You can't jump into a fast-flowing river if you can't swim, or you can't swim well enough. But if you have developed those skills, you can swim and you're fit and you're strong, and even a fast-flowing river is not an impediment, then one without a moment's hesitation can dive in and help this suffering person. So similarly to this, with this overwhelming wish to be of benefit to others, and having confidence that this is possible, but also knowing that right now I do not have the skills to help and guide beings skillfully in accordance with their own individual personalities, I need to become such a skilled guide. I need to become a guide who knows, who has perfected all good qualities and completely eradicated all faults, and thereby can help beings in the very best way in accordance with their abilities. And who can do this? Only a Buddha. It's only a Buddha who has attained the state of transcendence, the state of perfection. And now here, one gives rise to the wish that I will strive to become a perfect being, a being which is the most skilled of guides. And I will strive wholeheartedly to become a Buddha for one reason alone, in order to liberate others from suffering, in order to guide others in achieving their own enlightenment. And this is the mind of bodhicitta, where one commits to striving for Buddhahood in order to lead others to cultivate their own enlightenment. And this mind is a mind of incomparable power. With such a mind present, no problem is insurmountable. All problems can easily be transformed and overcome because of our certainty that problems can be overcome and the final goal of Buddhahood can be achieved.
Dene yenza da ngāntu jāngshū semkye, rinpa rōsūn jāngshū semkye, rinpa dire, jizāng ngāntu ki samdāng tā jī rinpa tāngbō, da di jī kōwā liya, ane kōrwī gyōn di samdāng, da gyōn di la da thārgū dungā samdāng che, dungā di la thārgū dō sambē samdāng, di je liya, ane semje tamche rāng liya, ane jī di ngā liya dugā re, di ngā liya jī yāgā re se kārāi mē bā jī semje tamche yiring mē bā samdāng, di ngā rō jī rinpa rō chi ngā rō lō mā chāng wā sā rinpa rō chi ngā rō liya lō chāng gu gu re chi sā dīni yin sā dāngbō di chāng de nipa di kia lē lā gu re nipa di chāng de sūmpa di kia lē lā gu re chi sā dāng nyum chāng dīni chi chi lā ya sim chāng tam chi rāngi pā ma chi nyōng wā di pā sam tāng gyum chāng sam tāng gōm dī chi lā sā sō lē jīn chīn bō yinpa sim chāng chā sā dā rāng lē gā jīn chīn bō re shā sam bī ki gā jīn chīn bō yinpa sam tāng dā gā jīn gā jī chīn bō re sam gā jī ki wē ne dā pā lā gā jīn Jinlen Jorgin Simbe Samlo the Shukcheli Gurwa, Chisa Dijela, Simjatam Jilea, then Jinlen Jorgin said Pamper Jukin Simbe Samata, Dijela, Simjatam Jediawa, the Dena Samada, DJ Simjat Dunga Trago Simbiki, Dunga Jana, never comia did it. Dijela, Dene Dunga Yu, Leda Nyomo Batile Kidu, Sibet Jebache, the Nick Jebache, Leda Nyomo Balekiwa, Hagoata, Dame Batobikita, Rashing to body. Rashi Majo Tomba Toyu, Simjan Tamje, Tiki Tutu, the Dunga Setuba Yuba, the Hagoyadu, Simjan Dunga, the Java, the Tiki Nagi, Sempiki, Hasanam Daki. DJ Sevilla Diacom, DJ Lada, these are Simjan Tamje doing a San Yokoba Toba Chi, Sipi, Janshu Sem Comia, that in Azuki, Janshu Sem Comnada, the 10J said, she's a Junjiki tended that it is a downboard to come, did that in a Niba de Semke, Niba did somebody, then they do send him budget, come you do, then the Nuba Charcer, then they come to Janshu Sem Comiadi, give you Jimba Yamlantana, Dineza, the Nigi some dashing of Janshu Sem Comia Chagore.
This mind of incomparable beauty, this mind of bodhicitta, this doesn't come about causelessly, doesn't come about through just the cause of a mere aspiration. It comes about independence on the cultivation of these specific causes in a specific sequence. So the first cause to be cultivated is a reflection on suffering, and the causes of suffering. So that's where we started, and that was part of the common presentation that's common with other lineages or types of meditators. One starts there with suffering and the causes of suffering. And then, independence on that understanding, one moves to the first step of the unique path of the Bodhisattva, which is to cultivate the mind of impartiality, overcoming this feeling of closeness to some and distance from others, but rather coming to see that there's no valid basis to discriminate between some and others, and rather developing a sense of closeness, a sense of affinity to all sentient beings, not dependent on what one is aware that they have done for oneself now, but just on the basis of our incomparables, of our stream of lives and connections. One realizes that everyone that is around me, everyone that I encounter and even don't encounter, I have a relationship of closeness with them. They are all like my family. So this is the first step of the unique path of the Bodhisattva, is to develop the mind of impartiality. The second comes about independence on that. When seeing this relationship that we have with others, we remind ourselves that, just like in this life, that we had parents who cared for us, in each and every other previous life, we had parents. And this is the case whether we're born as humans or as an other type of being. So this close and intimate relationship we have with beings is something shared with all, in that with each and every being, we've had the relationship of parent and child. And the strength of this understanding comes about independence on the strength of the mind of impartiality. The stronger that realization is, the more readily the understanding of the intimacy of a relationship that we share with all beings. Then independence on these two understandings, the third meditation, that on the kindness of others, more easily comes about. And here we start by reflecting on the kindness that we have been shown by our parents in this life and those who brought us up. And then we expand this ever broader, coming to see just how many beings have directly helped us, that all our good qualities have come about in dependence on others. And we take that ever further, seeing that it's not just those who directly and explicitly help us, but those many who indirectly help us, who provide for us. Here we develop a sense of appreciation that from life, throughout our stream of lives, beings, or this vast array of beings, help us. Here we develop a strong sense of appreciation and gratitude for the kindness that others show us. And in dependence on the strength of this mind, the following meditation naturally comes about. And that is the wish to repay the kindness of others. So with all of these meditations, there's this relationship of dependency, that the one becomes a cause for the next, which becomes a cause for the next. And the stronger the cause is, the stronger will be the result, and thereby the easier the next mind comes about, the more, and not just the easier, but the more powerful the resulting mind will be. So when you come to the point of having reflected on the kindness of all beings, then the wish to repay that kindness comes. And this wish will arise in a very powerful way in dependence on having seen the kindness of others. And then we reflect on how best can I repay that kindness? What is the greatest of gifts others desire from me? And that is happiness. More than anything, beings long for happiness, for mental peace, for a state that's undisturbed by any pain or difficulty or trouble at all. We generate the wish here, may all beings experience only happiness. May all beings accumulate the causes for happiness. I myself will do so. And here we engage in the meditations on generosity and ethics and so forth, cultivating the causes for happiness and offering those to others. And then in dependence on the strength of this mind of love, we remind ourselves that for beings to achieve this longed-for state of lasting, stable happiness, they have to be completely freed of suffering and the causes of suffering. Here we generate the mind of compassion, which is the wish, may others be freed of suffering. May others eliminate the causes of suffering. I myself will do so. And here, on behalf of others, we engage in the meditation on emptiness, as we've had described several times. In dependence, then, on this meditation on emptiness, when we come to realize that no phenomenon exists in the way that it appears, all phenomena are empty of inherent existence. We come to realize emptiness, we come to realize selflessness, and in dependence on that realization, we know that the path is possible. We know that freedom is possible because we know that the cause of our bondage is a wrong consciousness, is an ignorance, and can be destroyed by this very mind we've just developed in meditation. And with this great confidence and courage, in dependence on that, we take it as our personal responsibility to guide beings from their current state of suffering to a state of lasting happiness. We take it as our responsibility to guide beings in developing the causes of happiness within their own continuums. We take it as our responsibility to guide beings to eliminate the causes of suffering in their continuums. And this is the altruistic attitude of universal responsibility, the seventh step in this unique part of the meditation. And then from this, dependent on the strength of this courageous mind, we commit to becoming a being who can take this powerful aspiration and turn it into a reality. We make the commitment to become a being who actually does have the skill to guide beings in accordance with their own unique personality. And the only being who can do that is a being with an omniscient consciousness, a consciousness where all good qualities are perfected and all faults completely eradicated. And here we commit to striving for Buddhahood in order to lead all sentient beings, to guide all sentient beings to develop their own enlightenment. So what we see here is that this result of bodhicitta comes about in dependence on the specific sequence of causes, one in dependence on the other. So bodhicitta too is a dependence arising, dependence on causes and conditions. And the stronger we cultivate the causes through repeated habituation, the stronger the results will be.
나심제 담지기도는 산주 고방 토바쇼 선비게 장주심 깨네 다 냠는 제디 다 군노 장주심 토바지기 있습니다. 다 산주 고방 토바라 난 아주 가령 냠는 제디 진비 냠는 다 수주 냠는 수비 냠는 준주 냠는 삼제 되는 셔랍시도 돈이도 be 셔랍 어디 냠는 제야래다. 니 냠는 제발에 되네 안에 산주 고방 토고야 돼. 토야기 냠는 제야래 디래다. 군노 장주심 군에 라제 되네 진바 추주 서바 준주 삼대 셔랍기 냠는 제들에 디 냠는 제들에 디 냠는 제발에 산주고바 토고래.
Having given rise to the mind of bodhicitta, the commitment to become a Buddha for the sake of others, then the bodhisattva now engages in the actual activities of a bodhisattva, the meditations of a bodhisattva, the six perfections. So here they engage in the cultivation of the minds, of the practices that bring about their desired result, the result of enlightenment. And they meditate on ethical conduct, on generosity, on patience, on joyous perseverance, on concentration, and on wisdom, motivated by bodhicitta in order to become a Buddha, so as to guide sentient beings to attain their own enlightenment.
나 장주심 기군에 말랑와제 장주심 매바체 아니 냠는 마체바체 진바 추르서바 준주 냠는 삼태 셔랍 동이도 be 셔랍 냠는 제바이나 탈비 고방 톱투고래 마도 산여 고방 톱투고 말에 그래서네 델라 잠니세 교장주심 매라와 매반사 산여 고방 톱투고 말 탈비 고방 톱투고래.
So these six practices of ethics and so forth we've heard in several different contexts. What makes it unique in the context of a bodhisattva is that they are conjoined with bodhicitta And therefore, those same practices become causes for enlightenment, or are the causes for enlightenment. If bodhicitta hasn't been developed, those same practices lead to liberation from samsara, but not to bodhicitta. It's only when conjoined with bodhicitta that those same practices have the power to lead to enlightenment. Further context we've heard about these practices is that if one engages in the practices of ethical conduct, of generosity, of patience, joyous perseverance and concentration, but not with wisdom, not with bodhicitta, then those become the causes for good rebirth, a rebirth as a god or as a human. And the reason they are the causes for good rebirth but not for liberation is because wisdom is not cultivated. And the reason they are not causes for enlightenment is because bodhicitta as well as wisdom is not included.
Den rimba roji den sinanga samta de den ge samta nga ju samta de jange ani chara ji ta ni ta den ji ko mu de ne tang ge den ju chi de semlia komshi the de nga samlo di da den ge nuba church ju go wa den za de ring ge nga ju ge de janju sem komlang dang bo kan is kom gu re 제가 rimba roji den re 제가 di ko shu cha che nga ju da nga ju ge de den ne thol ya samlo na ya bang ji se. Now,
this afternoon, then, we've looked at the correct sequence to engage in to develop this mind of incomparable beauty, this mind of bodhicitta. And we've also spoken in the previous session how to develop the wisdom realizing emptiness. And we've seen with both of these results or goals, that of the mind of bodhicitta, as well as the wisdom that realizes emptiness, both of these are dependent arisings. They come about in dependence on causes and conditions. And those causes and conditions are the cultivation or the meditation of a correct sequence of meditations or practices. So it's through the continued cultivation of all of these meditations in the specific sequence that one attains the result, bodhicitta, the wisdom realizing emptiness, and enlightenment itself. So the key points to understand here is the sequence, these sequences, and that they need to be engaged in or trained in repeatedly over a sustained period. And through doing so, through meditating on the basis of this knowledge, one's virtuous minds, these various steps of the meditation, grow in strength. As one becomes more and more habituated to these minds, they grow in strength. And this means our progression towards enlightenment grows ever faster. So we'll conclude here for today, and then tomorrow we will look at another method to achieve bodhicitta, and that is that of equalizing and exchanging self with others. Okay, thank you.